Henry VIII. And they still live in here. And by the way, if you want to, I called up and I said, hi, this is Professor Goldsmith. Is Sidney there? And I have an uncle called Sidney. So I said, you know, I think I'm related to you. I'm related to the Sidneys. And sure enough, somebody got him on the phone. I said I was a professor. And I said, please, come out. And they came out. They picked me up at the train station. And I found out, they told me, you know, if you're at one of these places and they're not busy, because they make money off of this. And it's got a tax. The taxes are so high that these people want you. If you come off season, the Sidneys will come and pick you up at either Knoll House or Hever Castle, which is what they did. You know, you have to ask. Okay, that's what I learned. Ancient Rome, not in ruins. Now, a block and a half from the Colosseum is this. It's Trajan's Market. Okay, this is a two-story marketplace. It's like Mall of America in Italy. Okay, this is an interior. These are the stalls over here, the counters. This is where the people lived. And it's got wonderful barrel vaults that become groin vaults that are still there. Pompeii doesn't have anything as preserved as this. And this is a block and a half from the Colosseum. These are part of the original Aurelian walls. They were a bit over-restored by Mussolini. This was, you can see from here on up, was added by Mussolini, who, when I was a kid, I unfortunately called him, instead of Il Duce, Il Dolce, and a lot of people didn't like that when I first went to Italy. Now, also near the Colosseum is the Domus Aurea, the home of Nero. This is where he fiddled while every other building in Rome burned except his house. And as you can see, the frescoes were taken off here, but there are still frescoes on the wall. This is a two-story hall. And there are many rooms, some still have frescoes, and it's perfectly preserved. Again, 3 blocks from the Colosseum. Okay, this is Santa Costanza. This is perfectly preserved, and it's even got some of the earliest early Christian mosaics still intact underneath here. If you, okay, over here, over here, over here. The colonnade, everything here is original. It was built by Constantine as a tomb for his daughter Costanza, and later became an early Christian church. Again, not in ruins and wonderful.
Where is that?
It's in Rome. It's a little bit outside of, it's northeast of central Rome. Well, on a Sunday, it's a 20-minute ride. On a weekday, it's a 3-hour ride from the center of Rome. Now, you've heard of the House of Savoy. They're around Torino. And I look at it this way. Some people have summer homes, some people have little hunting lodges. When I hear hunting lodge, I think of George Bernard Shaw's little wooden shack as a hunting lodge. Okay, this was the hunting lodge of the Savoys. Now, if this was the hunting lodge, can you imagine what the palace looked like? And as you can see, there's the deer on top, which I think is much preferable than to hanging the deer's head in one wall here and his rear end on the other side of the wall, stuffed downstairs. Okay, now, in Naples, most people go, oh, Naples, let's get out of here and go to Amalfi. Naples has some amazing museums. The National Archaeology Museum. This is a museum in a palace, the Capodimonte Museum. Now, if you watch Home Shopping in QB, the most beautiful palace in the world. It's Peterhof. It's right outside of St. Petersburg. Now, unlike Versailles, this is by Rastrelli, and I just want to show you. This palace has a central focus. It's on a hill, and this is natural gravity doing all these fountains dating from 1750. Versailles, they had to pump the water. Therefore, they only run it once or twice on weekends during the summer. These fountains operate 24/7 from May until October. It is the most beautiful palace in the world. Okay, now, those of you who like just a pack of Marlboros is enough. You went up there, God bless these people who smoked there, Marlboro's there, and you get in to see Tchaikovsky's room where he died. Now, I just have to say, our country had this military budget against the communists. We just had to fly in packs and packs of Marlboro cigarettes. That's, okay, here we go. Now, not only are there historical and musical buildings in St. Petersburg, this is the home of Nabokov, the great author who wrote Lolita. And this is, he writes his memoirs. How Kyoto advertises, Japan advertises Kyoto, okay? This, you can see the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, the Golden Gate Japanese Garden. This is how I think they should advertise Kyoto. This is the Kiyomizu-dera on stilts from the 17th century, so there are no earthquakes. And these are 1,000 life-size wooden, like Buddhas in one temple. It looks like the Rockettes times 10 times, and they're all the same. Okay, this is how they should advertise Kyoto. Okay, those of you who go to Bali, okay, have you been to the late 18th century Abigail Adams Smith House? Yes, 4 blocks from Bloomingdale's is the home here, over here, in natural brick of Abigail Adams Smith, the daughter of John and Abigail Adams. It's furnished with 18th century antiques. It's owned by the colonial dames. I don't know, when I was a kid, I pulled somebody a dame, my parents would say, shh, it's a lady. Okay, it's owned by the colonial ladies of America. Okay. Now, okay, this is the Hispanic Society up on the west side in the hundreds. Okay. They have one of the greatest collections over here of Goyas, Velazquez's in New York. Nobody ever goes there. The only life mask of George Washington, which was done for Houdon, Thomas Jefferson had this sent, is in the Morgan Library on 34th Street, a few blocks over. This is the deathbed of Edwin Booth. This is in the Players Club on Gramercy Park. If you go in there and ask them and say, I want to see where Edwin Booth died, and just don't say you're a friend of John Wilkes. It shouldn't be any problem. And they will show you this room. Now, this is an obelisk given by Egypt from Alexandria in the late 19th century, the 1880s. The same time London got one on the embankment in traffic. This is what it looks like in London. This is what it looks like in Central Park. Okay. Now, we started with a townhouse. We're ending with a townhouse. This is the townhouse, half of the buildings of Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt. On the other side here is the townhouse of Sarah Delano Roosevelt. As a wedding present, she gave her son and daughter-in-law to a townhouse. That's the good news. The second news, it was adjoined on 2 floors to Sarah Roosevelt's. So that's the bad news. Now the good news is, it's on 65th Street between Park Avenue and Madison Avenue. And if you want to go over there, you walk through these doors, there's an office here, and you say, hi, I'd like to see some of the rooms that Eleanor and Franklin lived in. Wait a second, we'll get an intern. We'll get somebody, they show it to you. Again, you have to ask.